So today, if you look at the market, meme coin space market in general, you're probably confused and you don't understand what's going on today. So SPX, everybody told us he's gonna go to the moon soon. Turbo, it's meant to go to millions. We do have some meme coins that have potential now bumping today, and you don't understand what's going on. Why is this happening? And there is one simple fact that it is very important to understand today in order to actually make it with meme coins and in crypto. And this comes down to one simple thing, is understanding the meme coin season, understanding how this works in general. I did actually go through this in the last year, and I talked about it a lot. And I do feel now is the right time to talk about this because we got a lot more new meme coins and the market is getting very hard right now. So it is very important to focus on today's video in order to make it. I'm going to talk about what is going on, what you actually need to understand today. So with no further ado, let's get into it. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. One major thing you need to understand today, guys, is if you were here in 2023, you're probably seeing some coins come and go, some narratives come and go, and they never come back. And one major narrative was this meme coin is blue, should be on the blue meme, on the blue chain. This meme coin is red, should be on the red chain. This meme coin is that. That was one of those narratives we had back in the days. We've seen coins pumping on each blockchain, then we've seen them disappearing, and now it's only Solana and ETH. And then you see a lot of kind of new narratives that appear and then die off over time. And now it's getting even harder because we're getting a lot of coins now, right? And newer narratives today, we've got these like AI meme coins that just appeared, like this goat coin at $700 million. And you're like, wow, like a new narrative again. How can we navigate this whole thing? There are not new narratives all the time. SPX, right? It was meant to go to billions. What's happening? You're probably asking yourself these questions right now. You don't understand what's happening here. So it is very crucial to understand it. Now, meme coins, they do thrive on two major things. One is liquidity. The second thing is attention, right? A meme coin needs attention in order to grow. Not only meme coins, the whole crypto space. Whenever I see meme coins, it means the whole cryptos, right? Doesn't matter what fundamentals they have. If it's the next big thing, if it doesn't have attention, if it doesn't get attention, it won't grow, it won't pump. That's the major thing, because we need liquidity. Liquidity means that somebody needs to buy, and in that matter, we need millions of people buying the same coin for it to pump, or some large whales, few large whales buying that coin in order for it to pump. And we need it to actually exist in some sort of a platform like Twitter or YouTube. People are talking about it, or at least starting to talk about it, which is the actual attention, right? Or the community that is very strong that talks about it, right? That's why I really focus on community very much. So it is getting harder and harder. Now, the problem is now today, as you see, because of these two things, the problem is that we are spreading the attention too thin among a lot of meme coins. We're also spreading liquidity too thin among other meme coins. So today, if you look at the market, some coins are down, some coins are up, and like Pepe is down, let's say, and BONK is down, and Turbo is down, but then you have this GOAT is pumping, right? And then you have SPX that really looked like it should be going to 1 billion, but it didn't. Probably what people are gonna do now is, oh my God, now there is a new narrative. It's the AI meme coin narrative. And they're gonna jump on that. And then the next week, we're gonna have another narrative, and they're gonna jump on that. And then this GOAT here is gonna go down. And then something else is gonna go up, a new narrative. And this is something I noticed last year, 2023. I was talking about it appearing right here. Once Pepe appeared, it was still a shocker because Bitcoin was at 30K. Nothing happened then, right? Pepe went on 4 weeks, Binance, $1 billion in its market cap. Oh my God, right? Then we started seeing some coins pumping with it, like some coins that were on exchanges. We had ladies, we had some few coins. Also, BONK started moving up a little bit, but not too much. BONK started to move, Floki started to move. Then here we had BONK, Dogwave had Solana season, right? We had Solana season, meme coins on Solana pumping. There were coins everywhere. Everybody was asking me about, what do you think about this Solana meme coin? What do you think about this Solana meme coin? We participated in the Solana season, and you guessed that a lot of these Solana meme coins that were hot back then did not make it. Only a few, right? Only a few made it to the top, like Dogwave had and BONK. Now you have Popcat, but Popcat did not exist back then, or at least was not on the radar or nobody's radar. And most of these kind of hot Solana meme coins back here, they did not survive. Then at some point here, we started ranging. And here we had that narrative that this meme coin is blue, it should be on the blue chain. This meme coin is red, it should be on the red chain. And we started having blockchain meme coins, right? You see your ton chain meme coins, your avalanche meme coins. You see that was a narrative that was hot and everybody was buying the top on these, right? Then it cooled off. This one also, the Solana one, cooled off. So it is getting harder and harder to navigate this whole thing. Like here we also has the base chain, right? The base chain, everything was pumping on base. You see, you go on YouTube, everybody's making 5 top base chain meme coins, and some of them are still doing it today, funny enough, right? They still didn't catch up with the trends. They can't catch up with the trends, but we had it going on. We had meme coins pumping on base left and right, and you guessed it again, people got wrecked there because of the narrative, this blockchain, this blockchain, that blockchain. Today we only have 2 main blockchains, which are the ones that survived, ETH and Solana. And I explained this over and over and over why you want to be looking only on ETH, because there are less coins. The major problem with Solana, and that's actually what is participating in this madness we have now, and this spread of attention and spread of liquidity, is this here, Pump Fund, right? So Pump Fund now surpassed 2.5 million launched coins. Since its launch, 2.5 million coins. It's taking liquidity from Solana. It makes it hard for people to find the next thing. And we know what people are doing. People always trying to find the next thing, the next thing, the next thing. They don't want to sit on their hands. So when you look at this 2023 thing, the coins that survived, or the narratives that survived, are the ones that are gonna go on these leg up here. And as well, narratives that survived here in this chop. Narratives that survived in this chop, narratives that were the strongest in this uptrend, are the ones that are gonna participate here. So why I'm telling you this now, right? Because this is the actual remedy to this sickness we have, to these millions of coins launching. And I can show you the graveyard if we go down here from all the coins from this Solana. By the way, Myro is one of those, right? Slurf is one of those, like Solana, Kokinu, also some of those that are from that blockchain mania and stuff like that. Now, it doesn't mean those are not gonna pump, don't get me wrong, right? When the bull market comes and euphoria and everything, we're gonna see some sort of that revival pump on these, but it doesn't mean they're gonna be the biggest gainers. You wanna be on the best gainers. And by the way, I hold some, right? I hold some just because I thought this narrative is gonna survive the blockchain narrative, but today we got it confirmed pretty much that ETH and Solana are gonna be the main blockchains to be looking at. Now, as you can see, the graveyard is pretty much full of these, right? It's pretty much full of these. You got Maniki also from that Solana thing, right? You got Toshi, which is something I'm holding as well, but you can see that also a base chain meme coin with strength still is struggling. You recently got these like Chinese Pepe and stuff like that. One major reason with Pepe or Chinese Pepe is because it's a cabal coin, right? The Pepe verse narrative, and I'm gonna get to that, is one of the strongest, but the main reason Pepe is struggling is because it's a cabal coin. So you need to avoid everything cabal, right? So the graveyard is full of these previous meme coin seasons, let's call them that. It's full of these that possibly will not do anything substantial in the future, and people are still now doing the same mistake, right? People are still making the same mistake today. So what are people doing today? People are buying the new hot thing, right? They are buying the AI meme coins, let's say. Do you think this narrative is gonna survive? I honestly think it's not, right? I honestly think, I'm pretty confident that these AI meme coins are not gonna survive as a narrative, right? As a narrative, the narrative is gonna die off, and then we will see if it's gonna come back or not, because it's a new one. Remember that is whenever we have a new narrative, it has to get tested by the market. So we don't know if it's gonna survive or not. We don't know that. And as a part of our risk management strategy, like people ask about what is your exit strategy, but you need to have first an entry strategy and a risk management strategy, which is part of it is you don't want to FOMO in new launches and new narratives. New narratives, you should avoid new narratives. It's pretty hard to actually time them. You want to wait for them. Now, the SPX narrative, can it survive? This one has a better chance, right, at surviving. Will it pump today, tomorrow, next month? I don't think so. That's the thing. It's gonna cool off, which, by the way, now it's still gonna cool off. I do think $300 to $200 million market cap retracement on SPX is pretty much on the table. We're gonna see that retrace. Now, the reason it's gonna survive survive is because it's getting attention from Murad. So Murad is an influencer on Twitter, a big, large influencer that's gonna keep pumping those attention numbers, right? Which is the thing that keeps a narrative. And by the way, that's what got Pepe actually pumping as well, and Pepe pulling back after the Binance listing. And if you look back in time, I was one of the few people that were talking about Pepe from the lows. And if you go on YouTube, there were few YouTubers, but still that was enough to keep the attention concentrated toward Pepe, right? To grow it, right? If you go to Twitter, there are few people talking about it and they kept talking about it. Then if you go on YouTube, there are people talking about it and kept talking about it. It pumped. Dog we've had, if you don't know now, there was one large influencer, Ansem, on Twitter talking about it, right? It was also a community takeover, and it started from like a low market cap, 100K market cap. It formed a strong community that kept talking about it, which that community, it's the reason why it kept getting attention and the reason why it went to billions. Also, big influencers started to like it and talk about it. And to survive and to make sure that your coin is gonna survive is that you wanna make sure that first, the narrative is tested. The narrative is battle tested, like the Pepeverse narrative. So the Pepeverse narrative is one of those few here that we're looking at that we can actually pinpoint and understand, not like the dogs. The main problem with the dogs is there are many of them. So we're back at square one where which one should we choose, or which one will survive among these millions of dog coins. Now with the Pepeverse, because there are a few, now recently we've seen like people launching new meme coins on the Pepeverse, which you should not buy if it's a new launch, but still it's very limited. Like the amount of characters that are on the Pepeverse are very limited. They're very few. The major ones are Pepe, Brett, Andy, and Wolf and Dork Lord. Those are like the main characters of that. Then you have your others that we're starting to see now. But the thing is, it's still very limited to very few characters, and we can pinpoint the winners very early on, right? And that narrative is battle tested. We know Pepe now has been, this narrative is the strongest by far. Pepe is probably gonna flip Shiba Inu, but it's still the third largest meme coin, and it's been since its launch, or since last year, since this whole thing. So even with new narratives coming up and new things, shiny narrative coming up, the Pepeverse narrative stayed on and kept on going. That's something we want to understand, that regardless of whatever hot narrative today there is, every narrative gets a cool off, right? Even Pepe, when it got listed or when it's appeared, it got a cool off, an 80% drop. So every narrative does get a cool off, regardless of how big you feel it's gonna be now of new narrative, like whatever new narrative you have today, right? Especially the new ones we got today, like the SPX and the GOAT AI meme coins. Whatever big you think this is, it is still gonna get a cool off, and it's still gonna drop. So we need to see how the narrative is gonna survive afterwards, right? And the Pepeverse narrative is the one that survived afterwards. And you all know now, I've been sharing with you Brett on each, which is one of the strongest. It's like second in line at the low market caps. Now it's accumulating around 22 to 21 to 46, 40, $45 million in its market cap. So the Pepeverse is by far, right? Is by far the strongest. I do think we're gonna have one more narrative in the future that's gonna be the one that's gonna survive after Pepe, after the dog. It's gonna be possibly something like SPX, right? Something like that. But it still needs time. It still needs few months. But it's probably gonna be it, right? If I'm looking at it right. Then you have your individual meme coins, by the way, which is Turbo. And Turbo people today are probably pissed, right? Probably pissed because they see Turbo down and what's going on, and then you go down here and you see like GOAT meme coin. What the hell, right? GOAT meme coin is pumping. New meme coin, new shiny. Even the SPX people now probably are pissed, right? Imagine you are the SPX guy and you seen Mura talk about it, and by the time you wanted to buy it was already at 800 million, and now it's pulled down, and you are looking at it, and then you see GOAT is about to flip it, and you're like, it's already flipped it, and you're going mad, and you're probably selling SPX to buy GOAT, and then GOAT retraces down, and then you sell it, and then you buy the next thing, right? Cow coin created by Grok AI or some shit, some new narrative, and then you lose on that one, and then you jump on the next one. That's the purpose of this video, is to show these narratives, they come and go. And Turbo chart is one of those that you want to be studying, and I'm going to share with you some little details that are not on a lot of people's radar. And on a previous video, I had this chart on Turbo, and this was the target for Turbo, and it did hit it right around 900 million, and then it pulled back, and the target was 600 million, and it's probably going to keep ranging here again, right? And the reason why I did not think of Turbo is going to pull a strong pump straight away as a Binance listing pump, it's because it's a separate narrative, right? It's a one individual narrative, but we still can use its chart to understand a lot of things. Now, when you wanna find a coin on a narrative, let's say like the Pepeverse narrative, what you wanna do obviously is you wanna buy here, right? This square. That's where you wanna be looking. So you'd ask yourself, if I'm buying here, you ask yourself, what made Turbo go parabolic here, breaking out of this range? So let's focus on this range here for a second and look at this channel here on Turbo. Now we can even spread it towards this low here. So it was trading around 20 million, between 20 million and 60 million. So it reminds you of something. This is like where Bread on ETH is at right now. But let's dig deeper here. What was happening here? That's the thing we want to be looking at. What was happening around this time? So around this time, if you go back to Turbo's Twitter, Turbo was getting listed on exchanges here. Turbo was getting like Bitmart listing, Mexi listing, different kind of listings were happening here. Different kind of exchange listing, by that I mean listings. And then we seen this monstrous pump that broke it out from that 60 million, 80 million range to this range here, to this 600, 700 million range. So exchange listings were happening here as well. What was happening here, guys, is people talking about it on YouTube. So those are two things I noticed about Turbo pump here, because this is the most organic pump you could find. This is something you still can be early on, right? If you find a coin that is still in this range, you still got time to be early, and it's not a new narrative or some new pump of today's pump and whatever. Actually, this is the strategy that we want to be doing, to not get fooled by the hottest new narrative. And what was happening here is exchange listings, and also if you go on YouTube or whatever, you see people talking about it, right? Even I remember when I was making videos, people were always asking me in the comment section, Turbo, 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 Turbo. And then you see a few YouTubers talking about it here and there. Twitter, not so much, but Turbo was more popular on YouTube, which is one of these two things that are needed for pump, right? The pumponomics. Exchange listings, while it's ranging and a lot of attention is kind of being driven towards it. So you got your liquidity solved for by adding more exchanges, you're adding more liquidity, and you have your attention, which is people talking about it. So this is something what Bread ETH is doing right now. So Bread ETH now is getting listed on exchanges on these ranges, right? Getting listed. There is another exchange listing coming, by the way, as very big surprise coming for Bread on ETH soon. A very good exchange. So exchange listings are here. So liquidity is being added, more liquidity is being added, right? And then the attention. Let's say I'm not here, I don't exist. You've probably seen a lot of YouTubers talk about it, and I'm seeing more and more YouTubers talk about it. And even recently, right, someone caught this on Crypto Banter, briefly talking about it, about Bread on ETH, right? This is catching attention at the right range where you want it to catch attention, right? This is a screenshot. Someone on Discord shared it. Shout out to you. And more people are talking about it on YouTube. So we're solving for two major things a meme coin should have, which is more liquidity, which is exchange listings, and then attention is being driven, and we know the attention is gonna keep getting driven towards it, right? Also, we have a strong community which is constantly talking about it, and it's the reason why YouTubers are talking about it, because YouTubers get more views when they talk about Bread on ETH. So if you go on YouTube, there are few videos, people talking about it, and when they talk about it, they get more views because community is happy about it, so they make even more views. That's what's happening with Turbo. Now Turbo, after that, did a pump. So the pumponomics were perfect, right? Pump to $600 million in market cap. This is when now it reached that velocity where now it's a strong coin that people look at, right? People watch. And here it reached that moment where you see it here around the top meme coins on coin market cap, like Go Today or SPX. Like it's the new hot thing that everybody likes. This is the hype pump. Once it reached it, then everybody starts to talk about it, right? Then everybody on YouTube starts to talk about Turbo. Everybody starts to love Turbo here. It's the hype pump. The hype pump gets a retrace. So from 600 million went to 250 million and kept ranging. While it was ranging again, we started seeing more YouTubers talk about it, more exchange listings and all that stuff, and then it did run now. Now the only problem, as I said, that it did not run to 1 billion, 2 billion, 3 billion. It still can do that, don't get me wrong, right? The bull market is still like ahead of us. It should have at least done a 2 billion, like Pepe when it got listed on Binance. It should have done at least that, right? If you think about it, like it got listed with first Nero on ETH as well. They were listed at the same time. Nero on ETH now is above it at $700 million market cap. Turbo is at 650. It's close, but you'll ask yourself, but why did we get that? Now here when the narrative comes in play, the narrative dictates how high can a meme coin go, right? How high or how strong. And first Nero on ETH is in that Dogecoin narrative, which is by far the strongest, right? Dogecoin is the strongest narrative, especially if you can get as close to it, as close as possible. So Nero is the new dog of the Dogecoin lady, right? So it's a strong narrative because there is still that kind of aspect that maybe Elon Musk is gonna talk about, which I don't think so, but people speculate on that. People think it's gonna happen. So that's why it's stronger than SHIBA. That's when the narrative comes in play. But usually we see the same things here. So if we come back to our bet on it here, while it's getting listed, while it's getting attention, building up community and all that stuff, what we can see is something similar but much stronger than SHIBA because of the narrative. So we might see like a range, then a boom to 600, 700 million, and then another range, right? And then boom to billion. The worst case scenario is something similar to SHIBA, where it hits the 700, 600, down to 250, up to almost 1 billion, then range again. Now we could see still wait for SHIBA to actually do something here. The whole market now is down, and the reason SHIBA is going down, it's as well we have too many new and hot narratives. So that's one thing. But anyways, the main thing you want to remember here, guys, is this is what happened in 2023. So that mistake should not be repeated again. We're gonna have a lot of new narratives coming up this cycle. They're gonna be every week a new one. Every week they're gonna be a new narrative, and you guessed it, you will never guess it. You will never guess which narrative is gonna be next, because you're not in the big boys club, right? You or I or whatever, we're not in the big boys club. We don't know what they are planning, right? Like the AI meme coin, we don't know what they are planning with that. By the time you see it, it's already too late, right? Do you have this feeling sometimes by the time you see a coin, it's already too late? Well, if you have that feeling, it's because you are following the wrong people, right? They tell you about a coin once it's at $600 million market cap, and then you feel like you are late. What happened? Why I'm late again? It's because you're following the wrong people. And these people, whatever, even if they have no idea what's going on, the reason they talk about a high market cap meme coin is because that's all they know, right? Or because some people know someone that is about to launch that coin, and they know already beforehand they're gonna send it to million, right? And then everybody starts to talk about it. So you never be early on a new narrative. You never want to be that guy trying to find the early new narrative. You want to specialize on one or two strong narratives, and that's about it. And study these coins that are within these narratives, and know that these coins are battle tested, like the Pepe verse narrative, and we know it's gonna keep trending higher with the bull market. That's the most important thing. Most of these new narrative coins are not gonna trend higher with the bull market. They are gonna trend, they're gonna go up just by the fact that we are in a bull market, but they are not gonna have astronomical pumps, 50x's, 100x's and stuff like that. They're not gonna do that, because at some point everybody's gonna forget about them, right? And we've seen this over and over. Like this DGen went to $1 billion market cap, now it's at 100 million. And you guessed it, at one point everybody was asking about it. What do you think about this DGen? What do you think? It's down, and it's not gonna come back. And that's the thing, right? Some things are never gonna come back. Like last week we seen Hippo, what is it called? Mudan coin, Cabal, right? Cabal on Solana, down. Why? So that's it. It's over. It was a short-term narrative, quick pump and dump. They don't come back. You never, whenever you're getting onto a new coin, if it's not on a specific narrative that you know is gonna keep going in the future, or is gonna pump in the bull market, or is gonna have that kind of like first liquidity, you want money that's gonna flow into it, and then you have attention, which is very important. Will it get attention in the future? That's very important. Who's gonna keep talking about it in the bull market? That's important. So nobody likes Slurf. Nobody talks about Slurf. So Slurf is down. Even if it has exchange listings, it has very strong exchange listings, but it's not pumping. It's on AlkeyX, HGX, BitGet, Gate.io, Mixi, BingX, Bitmart, Lbank, all kind of exchanges. But you're wondering, it should pump. This is the actual recipe that got SHIBA to pump. Exchange listing. But Slurf did not pump. You know why? If you type in Slurf on YouTube, nobody talks about it. If you look at Twitter, nobody talks about it. Basically, nobody likes it. Nobody, right? So the attention factor is very important. You want to make sure that you're solving for that problem when you're into a long-term bag that you want to ride the bull market with. This thing is down only, right? It's on major exchanges like AlkeyX. You want a big shocker here. I'll show you a meme coin on Binance that did not pump. A Binance meme coin. It is a Binance meme coin. It's called meme coin, right? This one is on Binance, guys. This one is on Binance. $360 million market cap. Bybit, AlkeyX, Kraken, all the tier one, right? The best ones. It's not pumping. You ask yourself why it's not pumping. It's because of attention, right? Attention is key. It's not getting it, right? Nobody talks about it. Nobody likes it. And why? It's because it launched at a high market cap, so nobody cares about it. Did not build the community. Nobody talks about it. If I make a video called meme coin, nobody will care about the video. So you know that it's not gonna do anything substantial. It could pump, right? So don't get me wrong. I have to repeat that. It could still do a 2 to 3x, but you don't want to be the guy doing a 2 to 3x while somebody else is doing the 1000x, right? So it doesn't have the recipe for the pump, the recipe, right? Liquidity, right? It needs to have future liquidity, like people are going to buy it somewhere, which it has, like exchanges, and then it needs to have attention. If it doesn't have it, it's done, right? Those two are very important factors when you want to now see a new narrative and you are thinking, oh my God, this new narrative, I can't wait to jump on it. What's the coin on this narrative today? I need it. No, understand that your chances of losing your money are very high. Sometimes you will hit the jackpot, right? But risk management, right? Risk management, we don't want to jump on new launches and we don't want to jump on new narratives. We want to build something for the bull market and a stronger narrative that's going to keep building, right? Building up that survives the bull market. That's the main thing here. One more thing with meme coin and we wrap up the video. So one more reason why meme coin did not pump as well, it has a metaverse. I do think it's a metaverse. So usually meme coins with utility do not pump hard, right? That's one thing as well, right? If actually Turbo people stop saying Turbo is an AI meme coin, if you stop saying that, Turbo will pump even harder. And one reason as well is this new narrative that we see today, this Dogecoin is AI. I know for a fact that it's not gonna stay, right? I know it's not gonna stay because nobody likes me. It's been proven over and over and over. Meme coins with utility do not do well. They don't, right? They don't. They do sometimes, like we have Floki at 1 billion, 2 billion. Floki had the perfect conditions. Floki was in a time where meme coins were very scarce. We did not have many meme coins. Now today we have many, so the competition is harder. Pretty sure if Turbo just said we are not AI, we're pure meme coin, they will probably be at 5 billion. And the reason is you cap yourself. You cap yourself. When you put AI, then we know AI coins like the best PAL AI meme coin, the PAL AI coin, which is one of the best, went to $500 million market cap and went down like 300 million. I don't remember. Is that you cap your upside. You tell people, look, we are in this narrative. So this narrative doesn't do well, doesn't go as high, and it stops there. But when you say just meme coin, then speculation goes even higher because meme coin can go to 100 billion like Dogecoin. So people in their mind, they're thinking 100 billion. That's the main reason why I do think, right? The main reason why meme coins that have utility don't do well in general. So I hope this video was helpful, guys. Don't get chopped up with this new hot meme coin narratives. Keep your heads down. Study the coins that last long, narratives that last long. I shared with you Brett on it and why I do think it's gonna do the same thing here. It's getting a big exchange listing soon, by the way. And this is how you survive and navigate the meme coin space, by just keeping the hype down and just keeping it factual, right? Keeping it factual, the coins, the narratives that survive. Thank you so much for watching today's video till the end, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.